What's up guys, Sal here. So Samsung will release the Galaxy S23 Ultra to the general public on the 17th of February. But some people have access to the phone already and have been doing some tests which show dramatic results. I'll come back to that in a moment, but first let's talk about whether or not Samsung has improved cooling on the S23 Ultra. And the answer is yes. Not only has Samsung increased the size of the vapor chamber cooling system, but they've also included the tech on the regular S23 variant as well instead of the inferior graphite cooling. Coupled with a more efficient Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, which itself runs cooler than the one on the S22, the Galaxy S23 lineup will run dramatically cooler than last year. Another big advantage of this is that the handset can maintain peak performance for a very long time before throttling. You'll surely notice this in graphic-intensive games. Moving on, even though Samsung hasn't upgraded the camera stabilization on the S23 Ultra, but they claim the main camera's optical image stabilization is more robust, correcting for 3 degrees of shake versus 1.5 on the S22 Ultra. And the difference in real life is massive. As you can see here, compared to the S22 Ultra, the stabilization on the S23 Ultra is insane. It basically functions like a gimbal. I know this is not from the super steady mode, it's in fact taken with the regular video mode, which honestly is incredible. I'll make sure to cover this aspect in my review, which I'll upload at the end of this month. Next, if you have been following my S23 Ultra coverage, then you might have heard multiple times that the battery life on the S23 Ultra is going to be significantly better than last year. Heck, I even mentioned that it's going to be as good as the iPhone 14 Pro Max, which some of you said is impossible. Well, we have some evidence to suggest that Samsung has finally caught up to Apple in battery life. This gentleman has been using the S23 Ultra for about a week now, and he mentions that the battery life on the S23 Ultra matches the iPhone 14 Pro Max in the real-world use case scenario. And honestly, this is huge considering the fact that battery capacity remains the same as last year. This goes to show how Samsung's own foundry was holding them back from making a great overall phone. I just hope that when Samsung eventually makes their new custom chip in 2025, they let TSMC produce it instead of their own foundry unit. And finally, a lot of you were concerned with the downgrade in the megapixel count of the selfie camera on the S23 Ultra from 40 to 12 megapixels. Again, I mentioned in the past that this new 12 megapixel sensor actually performs better in both daylight and night, and we have a sample to confirm that. As you can see, compared to the S22 Ultra, the selfie quality on the S23 Ultra is significantly better in low light conditions. To see the 5 best software changes to the S23 Ultra that takes it a step above the competition, click here and I'll see you there.